know, if you fight with your husband, you know exactly what to say to escalate the battle further. Mentioning his sister or his mom might escalate it right where you need to be. And so you have to keep that in mind, that this fighting is an act of cooperation. So don't play Judge Judy and try to figure out who did what. Discipline both kids when they get into it. It's nice weather now for the most part. You can take kids, put them outside, close the door without any fanfare, let them put their little noses up against the screen door, sit back and have a cup of tea. They'll get the idea real quickly. And so it's to be an authority without being an authoritarian. That's the key. You want balance.
You know, I think as I was reading this, and you know, we read it last year and then again, I just realized that it takes a lot of work to be a parent, but it also, you have to work at it, like, I mean, anything, and really be intentional in doing these, you know, these things that you've said in your book. And I think one of the things that I've seen just with different friends and whatnot is sometimes I've seen people become parents and just think, oh, I can just now be a parent, not work at it, just not do anything or discipline. And you see these kids where they're looking for some kind of direction and leadership and even discipline, and the kids are lost. Yeah. And I just find that it's like, you know, when you get a new computer or a new BlackBerry, you look at all the manuals and you figure out how to make it work. And it's sometimes with, well, even marriage and kids, we seem to kind of go lax on that. We kind of go, whatever happens, happens, and we'll see where the wind takes us.
Yeah, I think with parenting, too, your heart is out there. I mean, you wear your heart on your sleeve with your kids. And so you think, well, all I need is love. I can just love them into adulthood. Yeah, but really, what you're saying is love, yes, but discipline is a form of love.
Let me share something that'll be a surprise to a lot of the viewers. Sandy and I have 5 kids who love each other and love us. And and they all have a relationship with God, which we're so pleased with. 5 for 5. You don't get better than that. But you know what? None of those kids ever had a curfew. None of them had a curfew. Dad, what time do I need to be home? Honey, be home at a reasonable hour. Dad, would you just tell me what time I need to be home? Honey, be home at a reasonable hour. They hated that. They hated that. But see, treat kids in the way you expect them to behave, and they'll behave that way. You don't have to micromanage kids, but you have to have positive expectations for them. And see, that's part of discipline. You don't micromanage, and a lot of us micromanage, especially if you're a firstborn personality or an only child. You know exactly how life ought to be for everybody around you.
Now, in your book, something I really appreciate about it is very detailed. Towards the back, you have a top 10 list. Yeah. The top 10 points that every parent needs to keep in mind. I mean, there's so much information here, but if we can boil it down to the top 10, I think we're going to walk through some of those just to help us all.
I'll try to run through those for you. Number 1 is be 100% consistent. Now, when I say be 100% consistent, I understand that none of us are going to be 100% consistent. But the point is, you try to be consistent. Think before you engage in banter with your kids about anything. Okay, you want to put them up on the screen? What do we got? Oh, how about always follow through what you say you're going to do. And then respond, don't react. Now, this one I think is really important. Learn to respond. You know, let me talk to the single mom who lives in an apartment, okay? It's a Saturday morning and her 8-year-old son says, Mommy, I want a pony. A pony? Where did you get that from? She's got a deep voice, by the way. A pony, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard of. What is wrong with you? You know, if a bird had your brain, he'd fly sideways. What is wrong with you? A pony. Well, that's a reaction. Do you think a parent could learn to say, a pony? Wow. Can you imagine having your own pony? Can you imagine riding your pony to school in the morning, going by all the kids at the school bus going, how you doing? You know, tying your little pony up at school. I mean, walk them through the whole thing. And the 8-year-old kid looks at mom and says, yeah, but we live in the city in an apartment. We can't have a pony. Well, the kid knows it. Grant in fantasy what you can't in reality. When the milk spills, you know, at the breakfast table. How many times does that happen? Oh, would you look at that? Look at that mess you just made. You are going to end up just like your Uncle Roger. Do you remember your Uncle Roger? Do you remember your Uncle Roger? You're going to end up just like him, young man. You know, at that point, we don't need a thrashing or berating. What we need is a rag. So, anyway, what else we got here?
We got more top 10s.
Okay. Count to 10 and ask yourself, what would old self do in this situation? What's the new me going to do? This is so simple. Talk about simple. We're creatures of habit. The thing you tell yourself as a parent, I'm never going to say that to my kid, what your mom or dad said to you. Not only do you say it, but you say it with the same tone and inflection. So you have to stop and really visibly make that emotional connection that, you know, old self does this, new self's going to do this. Makes a difference. Okay, where are we here? Don't threaten your kids, okay? If you threaten your kids, it just says, you know, you're immature. You're the grown-up here. You need to be in healthy authority over your kids. Don't threaten them. Next, never get angry. And this is another one where, you know, Jesus himself got angry. You're going to get angry. But I'm saying try to minimize the anger. Because when you strike out in anger, nothing positive is going to come of it at all. Again, you're the adult. And don't give warnings. That's one always throws people for a loop because we all think we need to give kids warnings. And then ask yourself, whose problem is it? Don't own what isn't yours.
Oh, that's a good
Okay,
one.
let the kids figure life out a little bit. And then don't think the misbehavior will go away. One of the things my dentist has on his office wall is something that says the most dangerous words are, I'm sure it'll go away. Well, I got news for you. That's why we go to the dentist. That's why we remove plaque. You need to be on top of the situation. As Ann pointed out, you don't just, you know, throw things to the wind and expect your kid's going to end up okay. You got to be the good parent. And then keep a happy face on even when you want to do something to your kids that would get you about 20 years in prison. Because kids are kids. They're dumb as mud. You know, they do stupid, dumb things, and that's why God, they are dumb as mud.
You know, parenting can seem so overwhelming. Maggie, I mean, you're just starting this journey. My oldest is 23. I've been on this for a while, but still, it can be overwhelming because they go through different stages and different seasons. And as a parent, we have to continually
How old
grow.
are you? You got a 23-year-old?
I have a 23-year-old.
She was married when she was 12.
12.
Actually, I was 8.
I was a child bride.
when I got married.
Hey, as the old guy here, let me just say, Ann is a looker if she's got a 23-year-old. We got a hottie here, I'm telling you.
Now red looks good on you, Ann.
Okay, moving on.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that, should I?
No, you should have. That was
Okay.
Thank you so much for a person of my advanced years. I appreciate the compliment. But my point is, and I do have one, okay,
I'll
is
pass
that
the Botox, would you?
no Botox.
You don't do that,
thank you.
I'll
No,
bet.
I don't do that. Thank
You're
you very
naturally
much.
beautiful.
I am trying, thank you. I'm trying to get to a point here. Is that parents...
Are we still in the air?
We are. As a matter of fact, we are. Parenting for so many of us can be overwhelming because we just, it's an ongoing journey that never ends. And so many times we think, okay, if I could only have Dr. Leman at my breakfast table to walk me through, how do I handle this situation? Or at bedtime when my child wants to get up and doesn't want to go to bed, or in Walmart when my child is throwing a temper tantrum, what do I do? You know what, we can't all have Dr. Leman handy there, but we can have a different source of wisdom, and dare say, a better source of wisdom, and that is the wisdom that comes from God. You don't have to go through this parenting journey alone. You know, you don't have to walk the scary path, the unknown path ahead alone. God is there, and he's just saying, if you'll only let me in, I'll give you more wisdom and more strength than you ever thought you'd ever have. But it's your decision. It's your choice to say, yes, God, I'm going to open up to you. I'm going to start today on a new parenting journey. I'm going to change, as Dr. Leman said, my reactions, my responses, because I'm going to let you, God, give me your wisdom. I'm going to see my kids through your eyes. I'm going to start this journey today.